Biggest loser of tonight. This one is an interesting one. Definitely not Trump. We thought he was the biggest winner. Definitely not Kasich because he did the Kasich strategy. That leaves you Rubio and Cruz. Kasich strategy is steady as we go. I'm going to go for the non-crazy niche and get my 7%. Okay, but win Ohio and then see if we got a chance. It's easy to say Rubio is the biggest loser because this was basically his resignation speech, right? I'm not going to try anymore. I'm going to go back to my original talking points. I bow my head, right? And it was kind of fun to see how pathetic it was. But I actually think that Cruz might be the biggest loser because Rubio was already toast. He was already gone, right? So Cruz had an opportunity here to go Trump, to go after him, to knock him down a peg. And he just weirdly chose not to.
I don't think he had the opportunity. I think there was a come to Jesus talk among the Republican Party and the leading candidates before this, where the establishment quite clearly told Trump, listen, stop tearing apart the party. We'll support you if you win. And he's like, yeah, but Ted Cruz. Yeah, Ted, shut up, okay? And Ted listened because they don't want the party ripped apart by Ted Cruz either. And if they see the majority of people are going to vote for Donald Trump, then they're going to tell Ted Cruz, who they fucking own, lock, stock, and barrel, dude, Ted, shut up.
Isn't that amazing that when they tell Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio to shut up, like dogs, they shut up instantly?
Yeah. I think that Marco Rubio, I know that it's hard for him to be the biggest loser because he was so low in the polling anyway, and he's not doing so well in the primaries, but his answers were the worst, right? I feel like everything that Ted Cruz said was like forgettable. Like nothing really stood out to me except for when he talked about how, we need to make a pledge to Americans. Like that was so cheesy. But Marco Rubio said two things that I think would really hurt him further with Republican voters. First thing or just people in general, right? First thing he said was that he wants to raise the retirement age to 70 while he's in Florida, right? Like that's not a good idea. And the second thing he talked about was working with Muslims to deal with ISIS abroad. Republicans don't really like that either.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
He almost laid down tonight and said, okay, I'm done.
It was like I said at the time, it was Jeb Bushing. I think they're actually humans and have some dignity. That's not a winning point in the GOP.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
They all, like Rubio's probably gonna be gone, and so I guess he's a loser. But I'm gonna punt, I guess, and say the GOP because as terrible as they are, and most of their candidates are just horrible people. Like it takes like Cruz is terrible. He should be the worst, but Trump actually seems worse. That's what's so bad. But up until now, they had apparently had this strategy of refusing to support him and trying to fight it all the way. They still have the same strategy to potentially save themselves from Trump that I was talking about in one of the other videos, but they don't seem to be willing to really fight for it. And that's pathetic. The surrender of the GOP to Trump is pathetic. And so I think they're the biggest loser.
I saw I was going to declare it a draw, apparently, between Rubio and Cruz.
I'm with John on this.
Yeah, but there's a late surge, and I think you vote with him, and you guys are almost convincing me the GOP is the one that got them to bow all their heads, and hence is the loser for saying, okay, we're going to give it to Trump.
They put their hand up.
Sad. So sad.
The monkey.
God damn.
That is pathetic.
Isn't that amazing? Tonight might have been it. That's it. They're going to give it to Trump.
Oh, come on, Kasich.
So sad. Their surrender
Yeah, but
was more pathetic than the fight.